Hello, everyone. I'm Lenny Pinna, and I'm the editor of this book, A Face from Uranus, Correspondence between Tedd Burr and Henry Bellamann, 1943 to 1945. I'm also the screenwriter for the limited TV series In the Name of Jamie Wakefield, Too Pretty for a Boy. I've been reading episode 3, and the last time I was reading part 4 of episode 3, which is when we were left with Ted and Henry at the ice skating pond in Bellevue, watching James Rogers skate. Ted is anticipating James Rogers coming home on furlough, and he's dreading it because he now feels he looks like a boy, and he confesses to Henry deep inside he still feels like a woman. So we're going to pick up with part 5, the conclusion of episode 3. We dissolve to Henry's study during the day. Henry sits in his high-backed chair with his oxygen tube. He finishes reading Ted's letter. He sets it aside on the table. He stares into space in deep remembrance. Flashback. A title card, Fulton, Missouri, 1910. We dissolve to the exterior of a train station in Fulton, Missouri during the day. 18-year-old Henry walks into the scene. At a distance, he sees Albert with his parents. Albert is waiting for his train's departure. Albert spots Henry in the distance. He excuses himself from his parents and quickly runs towards Henry. You came. I promise. An awkward moment of silence. Even though I call myself a poet, the right words aren't coming to me at this moment. Words aren't necessary. Perhaps I'll borrow some. Parting is such sweet sound. And his smile. Albert's father. Albert! Albert turns back to signal, just a moment. Then back to Henry. It's time for me to go. Henry extends his hand. Albert's hand joins with Henry's. Goodbye, Bert. Goodbye, Henry. Albert puckers his lips to send an air kiss. Henry blushes with a smile. Albert turns and runs off. Henry watches him return to his parents. Albert turns back and waves from afar. Henry waves. Close up. Tears begin to well in his eyes as he maintains his slight smile. We dissolve back to Henry's study. Henry is still staring. A tear rolls down his cheek. We now crossfade to an imagined reality. It's Ted's bedroom at night. Ted is now transformed into his imaginary female presentation. He wears a white silk robe and lies face up on his bed. A shaft of moonlight streams through the window. James Rogers, in military uniform, enters his bedroom. While James admires Ted's beauty, he removes his jacket and his shirt, then slowly, lovingly lies close to Ted on the bed. James gently opens Ted's robe and slips his hand under the fabric to caress Ted's feminine breasts. He leans in and kisses Ted on the lips, ever so gently, and then begins to gently kiss Ted's neck. With tears of joy in his eyes, Ted sees over James' naked shoulder. In the background, in the shadows, a photograph of Henry staring. Close up, Henry's stony stare. End of the imagined reality. Ted as himself is dressed in his pajamas. He lies on his bed, paralyzed with shame and guilt, staring at Henry's photo. We crossfade to the interior of the Bellamann's living room at night. Henry sits at his piano with his oxygen tube, playing a Chopin nocturne. He looks up to see Ted standing near the piano. I must say, I am quite proud of you. You are beginning to blend into the world around you. Any progress I've made is because of you and your belief in me. Now that you have secured a decent position, you must forget the past, the longings, the heartaches. With earning a good income, you will be able to afford to enjoy your life and have your privacy. I'm happy I'll have a well-paying job, but I still feel as if I'm being condemned to a life of artistic sterility. Nonsense. If you truly have genuine artistic ability, it cannot be taken away from you. Look at Dubose Haywood. He sold insurance until he wrote Porgy and Bess. If you still want to be a writer, write. But first, read. Read everything you can. I recommend that you read The Well of Loneliness by Radcliffe Hall. You will see how well she handled the subject of homosexuality, honestly, yet delicately. Ted moves closer to Henry, who stands over his shoulder watching him play. Thank you for still caring about my writing, even though you were disappointed in me. I was not disappointed in you, and I did not attempt to discourage you. I told you unpleasant truths only to make you work harder at your craft. You must develop a sharp sense of self-criticism so that you can withstand the harsh criticism of others, whether it be accurate or distorted. Ted sits next to Henry on the piano bench. I still have so much to learn from you. I hope you will stick with me, even when I'm working in the steel mill, when I have no real prospects to achieve artistic success. Don't be silly. I don't give you my time and attention because I think you might become a talented and accomplished artist. I give you my time and attention because I like you as a person, the person you are deep down. I'm here for the noble person that I know you will become. I know I'm a better person because of you. You should read Thomas Mann's Death in Venice. It's the story of an older German professor who falls in love with a young boy. Let your hopes to write lie in reading good literature. I always draw inspiration from your encouragement. Good. Now let me know your address when you get settled in Cleveland. You will be the first to know. Ted's apparition disappears. Henry speaks alone. I am faithfully yours. We cut to the exterior of Bellevue train station, day. Members of the Burr family see Ted off. Helen fusses with Ted's clothing and hair while Martha holds Tommy. Floyd carries Ted's luggage to the train car. Helen, Teddy, please let us know when you get there. I will, Mom. Promise you'll write letters from time to time. Tell us how you're doing. I will, I promise. Martha's in tears. Me and Tommy are going to miss you so much. Aren't we, Tommy? We're going to miss Uncle Teddy. Not as much as I'm going to miss you, though. Tommy, you'll be a good boy now. Ted kisses Tommy on the cheek, kisses Martha on the cheek. Helen in tears. Teddy, I'm so proud of you. I know your father's not going to tell you, but I know he's also proud of you. Thanks, Mom. You're a good boy. I know you'll be responsible. Now you go and make something of yourself. I'm going to give it my best. That's all we expect for you, is that you give it your best. Floyd returns. Train's boarding now. Ted nods. He hugs his mother, then Martha and Tommy. He turns to his father. There's an awkward moment before Floyd extends his hand to shake. Ted shakes his hand. Good luck. Let us know if you need something. All aboard! Ted slowly boards the train and looks back. Helen and Martha wave. Floyd nods. Cut to the interior of the train car. The conductor is near Ted. Tickets! Tickets out! Ted is ready with his ticket. Conductor smiles. Where to? Cleveland. Off to the big city now, are we? You be careful now when you get there. Ted nods and quickly looks out the window as the train slowly departs. Buildings and sights of the small town pass by, and soon flat open fields extend to the horizon. Ted takes a book out of his bag. A close-up of the title, The Well of Loneliness by Radcliffe Hall. Ted opens to the first page and begins to read. Fade out. End of episode 3. Well, we've now reached the halfway point of the TV series. If you have any questions or comments or any perceptions about what you're detecting over the 3 episodes, please write your comments below and we can have a discussion about that. And stay tuned for some Q&As coming up about the writing process and some of the aspects of like them seeing each other and blending in the scenes, and possibly a live Q&A in the future. So stay tuned. Thanks for joining me. See you again.